Hi, I'm Rich Santos, group publisher of wealthmanagement.com, the digital resource for rep and trust and estates. We're here at the Schwab Impact Conference in Chicago, and joining me this afternoon is Alex Potts. He's the CEO of Loring Ward. Alex, thanks for taking time to meet with me.
Thanks, Rich. I appreciate you having me.
My pleasure. So Loring Ward started in 1990, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. And your specialty is investment management, business or practice development for advisors. But only a select type of an advisor, is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you elaborate on that?
For sure. So we look for advisors who have a common understanding of an investment philosophy, where we take kind of the thinking from the University of Chicago, efficient market, and if an advisor has that baseline understanding of how markets actually work in the efficient markets, which means maybe an asset class investing methodology where we can apply modern portfolio theory in its purest form, no speculation, no market timing, no stock selection, just building asset class portfolios and helping investors. What we found is it actually helps advisors, I guess, work better with clients. They don't have to worry about apologizing for a manager. They don't need to speculate where markets are going to go. They can control the variables that are there to control and leave the ones that are uncontrollable, i.e. like the markets, just out of the equation.
So those kind of advisors are not growing on trees everywhere. How do you go about finding them?
Yeah, so there's a lot of conversations that we have with advisors. What we find, and if you just look at the ICI data, you'll see 80% of the advisory world and 80% of investors are actively invested. There's 20% who kind of believe in this passive or asset class methodology. So it's those 20% that we're looking at. And what we do is we try to build curriculum to help people who may not really understand what we do and how we do it. We look for those light bulb moments from advisors and teach them kind of this thinking. There's been 80 years of academic research around modern portfolio theory and efficient markets, and once we share that information, a lot of advisors are surprised there's that much data and there's that much academia based behind what we're doing. And so you see those light bulb moments. Once you have that, then you can start building onto the curriculum. That's
it must be working, because I think as of September you had over $7 billion under management.
That's right. Yeah. So we went up to about $7.5 billion of assets under management, and we've been doing it for 22 years now, and we haven't had to apologize for asset classes. I mean, in the end, what we're trying to do is to build portfolios that individual investors don't have to worry about, and make sure the risk tolerance is set up properly for them. And then allow advisors, what that does is it allows the advisor to truly advise, not be a product person, and truly become an advisor. If they can understand that the investment problem has actually been solved, they can become the advisor, work on the bigger things, the estate planning, the college planning, buying a house, all these big issues that come up for clients that are much more important than just building a portfolio.
All the issues that rep and trust and estates address.
Absolutely.
So those type of advisors, they have a somewhat unique client base, maybe high net worth, maybe small business owners.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you took a cross section of the demographic, I mean, there are people, if we look at ours, to average age is probably 55 years old, retiree, a lot of business owners, a lot of people who have just saved all of their life and they're investing their life savings with their advisor. And then you get the ultra high net worth as well. So we see an interesting cross section. I wouldn't say one is dominant over another one, but I think for folks who need an investment advisor, they're typically very busy. They're willing to ask for help and kind of understanding their strengths and weaknesses, and that takes a lot of trust, right?
Absolutely. So you kind of cross the bridge. You have this unique advisor constituency that you assist, but then you go a step beyond and help their client as well.
Absolutely. So
tell me how you do that.
Yeah, so one of the neat things about the investment methodology, it allows us to really study investor behavior and advisor behavior. So if we can help the advisor advise, and that could be for helping on intellectual property and estate planning, or bringing resources. So we've done a consumer panel where we've hired a professional firm to help advisors understand and translate maybe complex messages and make them simple, and help advisors become a trusted advisor, not for anti-product, anti-sales pitch. We want to move people up this continuum of truly offering advice. And so wherever we can find a mechanism to do that, we're applying that. This year, we're looking at rolling out a whole curriculum with Nick Murray, and to help internally and externally help the advisors really dig into themselves and understand how can they best provide advice, knowing that the product world is gone, and that's a good thing.
So one more, and all that is great. One more thing, I think I saw something, a book, The Wealth Solution.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit. Tell our audience a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So the thinking with the Wealth Solution is we wanted to, I guess, memorialize this thought about becoming an advisor. What were really the key components? And what we found is if you look at the advisory business, you have to have the investment management down. Like a doctor, if you have a disease, you better have a treatment for that disease, right? So that's just the baseline. The next is understanding how to deal with the advanced planning. If you're an advisor, you're not going to be an expert in estate planning. You won't be an expert in accounting. You may not be an expert in a whole bunch of things. So building a trusted team to put the client first, work in the best interest of the clients is paramount. And having that trusted team. And then the other is the relationship management. How do you build stronger relationships with your clients? How do you understand when times of crisis, are you present or are you running away or are you quiet? And just to help advisors get better at working with clients.
And there's no doubt today that wealth management is a multidisciplinary function, if you will.
Absolutely. And it's complex, right? I mean, there's a whole bunch of things now with potential tax reform coming out, all these things. It's a lot of information for an advisor to assimilate. So if they can get a trusted advisor for themselves to help their client, always keeping that client's interest first, what we found is that those advisors are trusted advisors. They tend to be more successful.
Sure.
Their clients like them more, and they tend to be more profitable businesses for themselves too.
Very good. Again, Alex Potts, CEO, Lori Ward. We're here at the Schwab Impact Conference in Chicago. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thanks for